we are back, gentlemen.
It feels what? It feels like it's been like a month. Has it been a month?
It's
been a few weeks.
Dude, what was the last time we were together? Was it Tacker?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Oh
Tacker.
no, we did one more after that where we did our predictions and everything.
Yeah,
So,
it was mid-April.
yeah.
Mid-April. Yeah. So it has been a while.
It's been a while.
It's also been 1 year.
1 year, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations, boys! Congratulations.
We have made it.
Yeah, it's been a year. We want to thank everybody who's been with us since the beginning and everybody who's new to the ride. Welcome to the Belligerents. But yeah, man, it's a year. This year flew by.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't even know it was a year until you mentioned it.
Yeah,
I was like, for real?
It definitely does not feel like a year, and it just feels like it was like last month that we sat here and we did our first episode.
Yeah, where
we couldn't even figure out how to record a video.
Yeah,
it went straight audio with that one.
Yeah,
but we figured it out. We're starting to get.
Yeah, if you look back on some of our early ones, you can kind of see the progression.
Yeah, right? Yo, those first like bunch of episodes were raw.
Yeah,
real raw. You guys want to see some raw podcasts? You go watch our first 3 or 4 episodes
and try to and some advice out there: don't try to be perfect, because otherwise you never get started.
Yeah, perfection's overrated.
Yeah,
honestly, it is. Because when you're pursuing perfection, you just lose the human element of what makes things great.
And you kind of take away the fun, right? So learn, experiencing it and getting better, right? Growing is all what it's all about.
Yeah, 100%, man. And one of the things with like the early episodes that we had was I usually started it off with a rant.
Yeah.
I always had something.
We gotta get some of those rants going again.
Yeah, I always had something that just grinded my gears that week, and I just had to like get it off my chest. But this one, because we haven't done it in a while, has been pissing me off for a while, and I just need to get your guys' opinion on this, because like,
all right, we're diving in. Hey, we're going right there.
Because this happens to me on the weekly, and I'm pretty sure this happens to everybody. But I just want to know how you feel about it. We all drive.
Yeah.
Right? We all use highways.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I know where this is going.
Yeah, I'm sure people out there drive. They use the highways. We need to get places.
Yeah.
Right? And we got to get to places in a hurry. That's why we use the highway. What's the point of that accelerator lane in the highway? Just like, what do you do when you get in that lane?
Well, let's say there's something called a passing lane and just your regular lane. And I'm pretty sure 95% of drivers don't know how to use a passing lane. The
passing lane, one thing, but that accelerator lane, I feel like every single time, especially when I'm getting on the 410, people who get onto the highway and they're still cruising at 60, 70, and you're not showing any urgency to get to the flow of traffic to get into these lanes. I'm sorry, but your licenses need to be taken away for 10 years.
Yeah, their expectation is for you to move. Like, they don't understand that they're supposed to be the ones emerging, not the person that's coming is supposed to move their lane.
Yeah. Like, I honestly don't understand the mindset of these people. One, look, if you're very cautious about your driving and you want to be safe, one, you shouldn't be on the highway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Figure that out first. If you have a fear of it, why are you on the highway? Get off.
I think that goes back to just like a lot of people shouldn't even have licenses. Like it's funny you brought this up. We were just driving here and literally on the main road, someone just randomly decides, hey, we're going 60. We're going to stop and put on emergency just in the middle of the road.
Yeah, why not?
And this happened to us. So this happened twice on my route here, on my 30-minute drive here, happened twice. And I'm like, you don't do that. There's literally plazas, side streets. You can pull over, do what you need to do. How do you go from 60, 70? Oh, I'm just going to stop right here in the middle of flow of traffic, put on emergency.
Yeah, because apparently the hazard lights on your car are a magic button that just allow you to do whatever you want, right? It doesn't matter what law you're breaking. As long as those hazards are on, you're immune to it. Like, it gives you diplomatic immunity.
I'm telling you, every time I drive, this is why I've been saying it for years. I want to get a dash cam, because every time I drive, there is 2 or 3 things. Like, people are doing illegal things. People are doing stupid things. I'm like, we could have a whole channel just based on
honestly, yeah.
drivers,
if we wanted a sub-belligerent channel, it could just be the stupidity on the GTA roads.
There's an account on Twitter, X, sorry. I think it's called Fort and the Sarpanch, right? And all they do is just post like these wild drive, like these dash cam videos like you're talking about. There was one from Brampton 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Buddy's in this white SUV making a right turn onto a street. It's a right turn. Everything was going fine. For some reason, he decides to drive over the curb and into one of those Bell fiber boxes.
Oh my god!
There was nobody around him.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
And the sad part is that's a normal occurrence.
That's a normal occurrence.
That's why I'm laughing. Like, this is like the minute you leave your driveway, you are not going to get to your destination without experiencing at least 5 different things on the way.
So it's an absolute, it's a cartoon. People are living in a cartoon when they're driving on these streets.
Yep.
First of all, it's like, you know, all these illegal driving schools. I don't even know who's teaching driving anymore. Like, it's, I don't know what's happening. A lot of it's like, I hate to say it, but you know, immigration, you're coming here, like they're bringing their driving style, their like the rules of the road from other countries. They're bringing it here and they just continue to drive the way they drove before.
Having a license from another country means nothing here to me. It doesn't. If you're going to drive here, figure it out, learn the way that you drive here, and then get your license from here. I don't care. Look, driving in like some of these countries like India, you know, Japan, China, like it's a completely different monster.
Yeah, it is.
You need to be a NASCAR driver, a stunt driver, everything to get
look,
your way
I've
home.
driven in Europe, right? The roads are so small, right? Like everything's like, you know, there's one ways, there's roundabouts. Most people here don't even know how to use a roundabout. And we should actually have more of them because it keeps the flow of traffic going. And like I've driven in these countries and it is totally different. Like it is wildly different. So to bring that, like I would never bring that here. I wouldn't go to Europe and be like, oh yeah, this is how I'm going to drive in Toronto.
I'm telling you right now, if they put roundabouts everywhere, everyone's insurance is going higher.
It'll be chaos.
Gonna be chaos. Yeah.
What's that one big roundabout in France? The one by the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
The one that just looks like it's 1,000 cars going around.
Everybody knows what to do. The flow of traffic keeps going, right? Like I'm not even talking about that at scale. Just, we don't need stop signs every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Just put it on a roundabout.
We make fun of it and we talk about it all the time. Like how like the driving here is out of control and it's a comedy and whatever. But just the more and more I see, it's like, what is happening? It's just a matter of giving a shit, right?
Yeah.
Like just I don't think these people care.
And I know there's like I don't know if like, I'm sure there's a statistic out there, but I'm finding from experience, like I'm seeing less and less young people wanting to drive because just a fear of driving because the roads are so bad.
I mean, that's the ease of access to like Uber, right? Like if you need to get somewhere, that could be a thing too.
That could be too. Yeah.
You know, like
it's twofold,
I don't go out that often anyway, but the one day I do need to go out, whatever, here's a $15 Uber ride wherever I got to go to. Right. Or they got an older sibling that's just going to drive them around everywhere anyway.
Fair enough.
But you know what it is also? It's just so easy to get a license. I'm telling you, when I got my license, the person that did their test in front of me, he drove into oncoming traffic. Right? The first turn out of the center.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we have this crisis.
But he came back and he passed.
Wait, hold on.
He passed.
This is what I'm talking about.
The first thing he did was drive into oncoming traffic, and when he came back, he's like, I passed.
Which test center was this?
This was...
Yeah, we got to call this person out.
This was like an hour away. I forgot where it was.
Was it St. Catharines?
No. Orangeville, that's where it was.
Oh my God. I went to St. Catharines, peak winter. This is like February, whatever. I did my first G test in St. Catharines, and there was huge snow piles, right?
Yeah.
So I'm inching my car, out so I can see what's going on, right? And then I got out. There was a car coming. The whoever the testing person was, whatever, they had to slam the brake, right? They're like, "Oh, what'd you do that for?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What'd I do that for?" Right? I had to see if it was somebody coming.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, I had to use the brakes, so like we failed. Right?
Wow.
I didn't even get out of the parking lot, but then she's like, "Oh, but we're gonna do the test anyway." I'm like, "What's the point? You just told me I failed. Why are you wasting my time now?
Yeah.
An hour and a half to St. Catherine's, and are you gonna tell me I gotta do another 25 minutes, even though it means nothing to me?
Wow.
Right? Screw you, St. Catherine's Test Center."
Now that's a hell of a story.
But this guy, whoever this dude was,
He
doing
didn't
James.
care.
He's doing James Bond maneuvers and getting a license right away.
But that's the norm. Like that is literally the norm. I don't understand how people have licenses here.
Yo, and these driving schools, man. Like, what are we doing? Who's that?
They're just I'm telling you, they're all just scams.
is.
Who's that? I don't know what the name of the driving school was, but it was like a couple of months ago. The guy got pulled over for having illegal tints on his car, and he literally had the driving school sign on top of his car. And that lady on the 410 that was doing the UE
Oh yeah.
during traffic right in front of the cop, and she got caught. You're a punk. That was one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life.
People have first of all, people are not afraid of cops anymore. Or the law in general in Canada. It's
But you know what?
unfortunate.
I will say, you said that grinds your gears. The one thing on the road that grinds my gear, you're on the highway. If you're going to miss your exit, miss your exit. Do not cut across 5 lanes just to get to your exit.
Not even on the highway, even just on Steeles heading into Brampton. Buddy, if you know you're going to make a left, why are you waiting till the absolute last second to get into that lane?
Just more people on their phones, not paying attention. Like it's a common occurrence.
And has anybody else noticed? Like even everybody out there, like you need to tell us in the comments. Let us know. There's like a U-turn epidemic happening in this world right now.
Every location on the road is a U-spot location.
Dude,
now.
5-6 years ago, seeing a U-turn was like a solar eclipse. You're like, oh, look at this guy, what a brave soul, right? Now it's like, holy shit, it's happening every 3-4 lights. I'm saying
every intersection almost you see it.
Man, I don't know. Like, are we just gonna have to go back to like horse and carriage?
We might have to. That might
I'm telling you, it's scary.
That might be the route.
Driving is just,
It
I
is.
don't know how many I trust these same people on a horse.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse.
horses.
The horses are just weaving through
Carriages.
everybody. They're jumping over like
Gotta feel
equestrian
for the
riders.
horse, man.
Yeah. The horse is gonna have a Punjab decal on its head.
Trust me, that's gonna happen.
Yo.
It's not even a joke.
Oh my gosh, man.
People are. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's. Oh, and then speaking and just talking about cars and driving and stuff, the Ontario government to deter auto theft, they're putting in that if you get caught for stealing a car, you're gonna get your license suspended or something.
What? That's it?
I'm telling
I'm
you,
telling you,
man.
then
Like, we
once
shouldn't
it's
even be
suspended,
putting
they don't
this
even
on-
care if
we
it's
shouldn't even
suspended
be-
or not.
We shouldn't even be putting this on film because the laws in Canada are so soft. Like, it's crazy because we went all tyrannical for COVID, but when it comes to the law, breaking the law in anything else, like we're the most lenient place to be in the world.
Dude, imagine getting caught for Grand Theft Auto and just being told, "Hey,
Slap
man,
on the
you
wrist.
just can't drive for a year." Oh, thanks.
And then they'll go do it again, and they're like, "Oh, my license already suspended."
You know,
How is that? Like, I'm pretty sure the guy that's trying to
steal the car,
steal the
like
car.
he cares if he has a license or not.
Yeah.
doesn't care about insurance, doesn't care about any of that.
Oh, I can't steal cars anymore. My license is suspended.
Man, these
What is
people who
happening?
make these laws and make they're brain dead. I'm telling you, they're just
bad.
brain dead.
Like, what are we even doing anymore?
Like on their climb to the top, like they just lost all their brain cells.
Dude, it's amazing. First, now we're suspending licenses for car thieves, and before the cops were telling everybody just leave your cars on your on your
keys.
porch,
Yeah.
so you don't have to deal with break-in errors.
It's honestly though like that, and then now insurance companies are raising insurance because they're sending out letters to everybody, you know, like get these. You got to get all these security tags on your car.
Yeah.
It's an epidemic, people. If you don't know, where
It
we
is.
in our neck of the woods, it's been an epidemic.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, man. And then the people who are supposed to be, governing all of this, like you're just so tone deaf to everything, and your
It's,
solutions
it's
are
insane, man.
absolutely laughable.
There's no thought put into solutions.
There's literally no. This is what I'm saying. Like, they are absolutely brain dead. There's no thought process. Like, I don't know who comes up with these wacky ideas when you can get 10 people in a room and they'll tell you like this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like it's all, tongue in cheek with these guys. They'll make a joke about
Yeah.
it. Hey, what if we just take their licenses away? Oh, great idea. Throw it into make it a law. Right? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, shit. Let's show the people we're doing work.
Yeah, that'll show them. Way to go, Ontario. Well, at least we don't have to pay for renewing license plates anymore.
Oh yeah, woohoo.
At what cost?
Yeah.
Your car. I saved $200 on registration, but here my car's gone.
Yep.
That was a good rant to start the episode with.
Man, I'm pretty sure there's something else that hit my head later on, but like that was just something that's been grinding my gears over the last couple of weeks. Because every time I get onto that highway, man, and there's just like some dude or some whatever, just
No, I'm telling you, it's all highways. Even 401. 401's my worst one because I take that the most.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate the 401.
401's a parking lot all day, y'all. But it's just I don't get it. Like the whole point of that lane is to get up to speed and merge in and flow with traffic. Why are you just lollygagging and then wondering why people are flashing their lights at you?
Again, I'm telling you, like, genuinely, these people have no idea. Like, we think, like, like, you should understand how the rules of the road. These people just clearly have no idea.
Yeah, it's out of control. We'll figure something out. Oh, maybe the next time we do a podcast, it'll be horse and carriage law. we'll be going the ways of the Amish.
Imagine on the highway, a lane dedicated to your carriages.
Just the horse only.
Yeah.
Like they get rid of HOV and it's just horses
Yeah.
only. Horse operated vehicle.
Oh.
Yo, man, what is happening with Canada? Jeez. Somebody help us. Anybody who's watching internationally, man, do something. Help us out, please.
Mr. Trudeau, man, he's taking care of all our problems.
Hey, don't talk about Uncle Justin like that, okay?
I don't know if you guys caught his brother was on Tucker.
His brother?
So
Trudeau's
I didn't
brother.
even know he had a brother.
I didn't know
I
either.
had no
I
idea.
had no idea he had a brother, which probably is, shows how much I know, because you would think he's the prime minister. We should have some idea who's in office. But again, I didn't vote for him, so I didn't give.
Wait, is this the guy who's like a murderer or something?
No, so
Or did I just make that up?
this
I know nothing.
this is how these rumors start. No, it was I didn't even actually. I've only would listen to like 15, 20 minutes of it. It just came on my radar last week. I think he was on last week, so yeah, it's something I'm gonna check out. It would be interesting to say what he says about him, and the fact that he went on Tucker. I'm sure Tucker asked him.
Are
Hey,
they on
what do
good
you
terms? Like him and his brother?
Yeah, if they're estranged, then I'm gonna watch it. But if they're buddy, then I don't care.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. He looked like, from that picture I got, look, we're spreading big time rumors, but he had that hippie kind of look, right? So let's see.
Yeah, but like what Jag was saying, like if they don't like each other,
Yeah, then it's a must watch.
yeah. But if they're like buddies, then I don't care. Then it's just propaganda.
Yeah.
But then Tucker wouldn't really have him on, then would he?
There's gotta
No,
be
that's
something.
why I that's the only reason it hit my
There's
radar.
gotta be something.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just he's gonna ask the questions he wants to ask Trudeau to his brother.
Oh
No,
yeah.
he's gonna ask him straight up, like, why is your maniac brother,
Yeah, what's going
what's
on
he
in
done to
Canada?
Canada?
What is
Yeah.
he doing? Go back to Stephen A. Smith. Lay off the weeds.
Stephen A.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stephen A. Smith, his podcast. And I send you guys those videos of him answering random
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Those questions are hilarious.
I love
You know
it.
what? His pod. I'm actually very surprised that ESPN, or should we say woke Disney, has allowed him to like touch on subjects and talk so freely on his pod. It's actually kind of surprised me, which in a good way. Like I'm happy that he's been able to kind of touch on things outside of sports.
I mean, if you're giving him $30 million a year or whatever the hell it was, you gotta give him free reign on something, right?
He's smart. He carries ESPN, and now
He carries the
Now-
network, so I get
like
it.
he's creating his own brand once you become your own brand, you have all the power, right?
What was that one that he had a couple of weeks back where somebody asked him like who'd win in a fight, like Goku or Vegeta or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
yeah?
love when he doesn't even like
Yeah.
know the names and
Yeah.
stuff.
People are just throwing him like anime questions, like, "Hey, what would your starter Pokemon be?"
Yeah, I saw that one. I
There's,
saw
like,
that
lots
one.
of stuff
Yeah.
like that.
He tries to pronounce the names.
He goes with it though.
Yeah.
Right? He just doesn't brush it off. He's like, "All right, I'll give this a go. I'll see how it is."
I like
No.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, 1 year. It's been a good ride thus far.
It's been a wild ride,
Yeah.
and do we want to touch on? We were thinking about doing a giveaway.
Yeah. So we are at 1 year, which is a milestone in itself. And we are also very close to getting 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
So let's make that push to 100 subscribers. Once we get to 100 or even over 100, we are going to do a contest for everybody out there, which we're not going to tell you right now. You're just going to have to pay attention to our socials, pay attention to wherever we put our stuff up. Once we get to that milestone, we're going to be doing something for you guys. So if you're not subscribed, because I know 60% of you aren't, because that's what YouTube Studio is telling me. So you guys need to get subscribed. And if you are, please tell everybody you know, the next carnival party you go to, the next wedding reception that you're at. Just walk around.
Yeah,
just
summer's around the corner, so we know you're going to be attending lots of those wedding functions. So
Yeah.
spread the word.
and the barbecues are going to be starting. So if you guys
Oh,
want
yeah.
topics of conversation, well, hopefully we can provide some of that content for you and you can
Yeah.
have those conversations too. But get subscribed. And once we get to that number, we're going to do something for you guys. So stay tuned for that and it'll be fun. I promise. It's going to be great. And just talking about the 1 year, you know, we've talked about a lot of things. You know, this thing started as kind of like a gag.
Yeah.
And it just kind of evolved into like more and more and more. And, you know, we evolved into doing more content. We started doing the vlogs and we started doing the prediction shows and we started doing all that stuff. The watch along, we did the Royal Rumble watch along.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep doing more. But we also want to thank the people that came out and helped us out
Yeah.
throughout this past year. We had Ink and Spade were our first guests, right? That was a really fun episode that we did.
Yeah, that was a lot of
Was,
fun.
yeah.
Right, and then we had Sim Modula. She was out here. We talked. That was a really good one with talking about the education system and talking about politics and stuff.
Mhm.
And then Jazz Tacker we just had recently.
Yeah, which was,
That was
a
a
huge
big
get
one.
for us, which was, we had a great time. It was great having him on.
Yeah,
You know?
thanks to him. And then we were out at Hybrid Groups golf tournament last summer, so we did our first vlog there. We were out at the Lions Den virtual tournament. Heard Deep Frequency, all those guys. Shout out to those guys for having us out. The golf sing video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Can't forget about Golf Sing.
Yeah, 3 goons versus a pro. That was really fun too. Shout out to Golf Sync for that. So appreciate you guys helping us out with the content, right? And we're just gonna keep pumping more out, man. That's it. The more you guys watch, the more you guys support, the more we're gonna do. And we really appreciate that. Over the last year, what's the one thing that you guys have kind of taken away from all this, like this experience and doing the pod and everything that we've done? What stood out for you?
For me personally, it's just been the guests that we've had. I think so. Those are some of my favorites, just because it allows us to get into topics that, I personally just like to talk about and just enjoy and just kind of, just having conversation with different types of people in different types of, in different types of, in the world, like they're in different worlds, right? Like every different guest you get, they kind of have this whole perspective on the world and, in whatever they do in their life.
Right on.
Yeah. For me, it's basically like just talking to you guys. There's so much a variety of topics that we never get deep into. And on this couch, we get into, deep into all these conversations, all this knowledge I can soak from you guys, So it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, like it provides a different dynamic, right? Because when you get together in like social situations, you have conversations, but they don't really get crazy.
Yeah, and you
Right?
don't really
Yeah.
get to get into the meat of things, right?
Yeah.
You don't like, those are most of the time, short windows of conversation. So
Yeah, it's
you
kind of
know.
like ADHD, so sociability. Like you have a conversation, and it's like, oh, did you see this? Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, that, and like, by the way, this, by the way, that.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you've talked about 7 things in like 11 minutes,
yeah,
right? And then one thing that for the past year that I'm gonna take away is from the people that watch more consistently. They always ask me about CP24 because that was one of the things that I think that was one of the first rants that I had, and that was the one that really kind of resonated with a lot of people, right?
CP24, I can see that.
And then it was hilarious because last week, I think it was Drake, he put on his Instagram story, CP24 had their chopper going over his house or something. And then he's like, can you like not fly your chopper over my house while I'm trying to sleep? You can come after 3 o'clock or whatever. Like CP24, like they can't even let Drake sleep.
They're everywhere, man.
City Pulse, it's everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, my goodness. But yeah, thank you everybody for the last year. This has been fun,
we really
man.
appreciate it. It's been a fun ride, and we are hoping to get even bigger, bring you more content this year.
100%. All right. So was it? Oh, you wanted to talk about Tom Brady roast?
Yeah, I was gonna mention it. I was gonna bring it up. I'm sure was brought to you by Netflix, so I'm sure most of our listeners and viewers out there have already checked it out. If you haven't, definitely check it out. I heard something today which I was not aware of, so I wasn't even gonna bring this up. But I don't know if any of you guys caught First Take, but they were mentioning like, oh, Brady was like kind of having second thoughts of having it done, which is unfortunate. Like, I'm sure I would be surprised, and I would think it's very naive for him not to know what to expect. Like, this is what a roast is. And I don't blame, like, a lot of the feedback I've gotten from people. They were like, oh my God, like my wife was checking it out with me and she was like, whoa, like that's hurtful. Like, oh my God, that's like, like these jokes were going at him and at Giselle, especially the Giselle jokes, right?
But the funny thing is about that is like all the comedians have come out and said they were so restricted in what topics they could touch. If they had free reign, it would have been much worse. Yeah, because they had if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. But there's a moment there where Brady had to come. There's a guy on. I'm not gonna say who, right? You guys can check it out. But he came on there and he was like, "Hey, you can't touch that. Like, don't do that." I don't know if he swear. He was like, "Don't fucking do that," right? And it was about the massage. It was a massage joke.
The Robert Kraft thing?
Yeah.
The Robert Kraft.
So the two things that they were not to touch on was his kids.
Yeah.
And the Robert Kraft stuff, right? With the massage stuff. But the kids thing, everyone understood. But the massage thing, I think it needed to be done. What happened? Did you watch it?
I saw clips. I haven't seen the entire thing yet. Mm-hmm. But my takeaway, like I read, like what you were saying, that Brady was kind of having like regrets about it. But this is a roast, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Like, do you guys remember Justin Bieber's roast?
Yeah.
The stuff that kid had to endure. He was what, like 22 when that happened?
That guy, he was a kid. And this guy was like fearless.
And they went in.
They went in on him. There was that one joke that I forgot who made it, but it was like the hanger joke, right? Like that one, you can tell kind of like got to him a little bit, but he toughed it through. Like he understood. Like no one's being malicious about it, right?
The Trump roast was absolutely hilarious. Like I just think it's been like I believe this was the first roast after like 7-8 years, so it's been a while, right? And like these were a lot more common. Most people don't even know what a roast is anymore, and I feel like a lot of people were surprised. But for those of you who love comedy, I thought this was kind of like the death nail into the whole, I know we spent a lot of this past year talking about Disney, woke, the whole world kind of going woke, for the past, feels like forever, maybe a decade. And I feel like this was just the nail on the coffin and like it's done, right? Like the things they talked about, the things they joked about, like it was no holds barred. And I thought, the fact that it was aired on Netflix, everyone's getting to see it, and it was hilarious. And I got to give it out to Kevin Hart, who I thought was he was an amazing host. I thought Gronk, the idiot, the ongoing joke, the rope, like I thought that was hilarious, and I thought everyone was a good sport. And I had to bring that up. you know, if he did feel like, you know, he had regrets about it, I don't think he should. I thought it was an amazing 3 hours.
Like whoever your manager is, and they approach you, and they're like, hey man, they wanna do a roast. You kind of need to know what you're getting yourself into, right? Because if you're gonna sit there and be like, oh, they shouldn't have done that, then you shouldn't have agreed to the roast.
I
Yeah.
think it was more of Tom Brady himself can take it. Whatever's thrown at him, no matter what it is, he can take it. But I think what he regrets is because he feels bad because Giselle got it, Robert Kraft got it, right? And then, like, I think he was saying his kids were affected by it too, like hearing all these jokes and stuff.
Dude, the soccer team
But,
that he
like
has,
the divorce and all that, right?
I think
But
that's just soft. I think that's
It
just,
is,
I feel
but
like
I
he's
feel
literally just saying what he should say to please the
that's
please
the thing,
people.
right? I feel like he's a people pleaser, right?
Yeah.
And he can take it, but he doesn't. If it's affecting other people, then he's like, you know, I regret it.
but if you're in the public eye and you've been in the public eye for the last 20 years and everybody knows about what's going on in your life and you agree to a roast, it's gonna come up.
No, and I
I understand the kids thing. Leave the kids out of it.
no,
I
if-
get that.
so-
right? Yeah.
I believe family should always stay out of it. The reason Giselle was open target, she's in the public eye.
yes,
She's
that's
been in
exactly
the
what I was
public
gonna say.
eye.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
there's no hold up. Like,
It's not like she's an unknown.
yeah,
just,
she's
you
not an
know.
unknown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
She's not an innocent bystander or anything because she's made herself front and center
Yeah.
multiple times throughout his
Yeah.
career.
Mhm.
Right? What was that the one time after the Super Bowl where she's like, oh, he can't throw and catch the ball at the same time? She basically called
Yeah.
out the entire team, called them a bunch of bums.
yeah,
Right?
I remember that.
So I mean, you know, and isn't she like a supermodel or something?
Yeah,
Or,
she's a super. She's out of that career now, but I believe.
or like she
No,
was, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's getting back into that. Because she gave all that up for Brady.
Oh, she gave it all up for
right?
him.
And now
Yeah.
she's no longer there. But the one thing I will say, the one last thing I will touch on is it can never be a perfect roast without Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx is
I feel like he needed to be there, right? And it would have been perfect.
that guy. I mean, I just brought him up, and I'm just starting to think about Jamie Foxx. He's probably the most talented guy on the planet.
I think so too.
This
he can
guy's
sing, he
can
can
sing,
act, he can do everything.
he's hilarious.
Yeah,
The
he's a
im-
comedian.
The impersonations that this guy does, he's out of this world, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing this guy can't do.
He was great. He was absolutely great.
Did you see him on Coffee with Comedians with Seinfeld?
No, oh no, I haven't checked that out.
So this was he was talking about how he won the Oscar for Ray,
Mhm.
right? And then he's like, he told his manager that he doesn't want to keep the Oscar, like he gave it to him,
Yeah.
right? And then his manager and him got into like a big thing about it, and then he's like, I don't want it. And then he's like, the reason he didn't want to hold on to the Oscar is because he didn't want to become that Oscar crowd,
Damn.
right? Because he's like, if I become that guy, I'm not funny anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? I'm not the comedian. Because like every time, you know, what did he say? He said something like, while I was holding that Oscar, I almost started talking in an English accent just because it's the
Yeah.
Oscar. Right? And I respect that. The guy, he
Yeah, you gotta
kept it
respect
real,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. You win an Oscar, you're like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's fine. I'm a comedian. I'm a funny guy.
Yeah.
His interview with Denzel Washington was amazing too.
I love Denzel.
Have you seen Equalizer 3?
Yeah, I have. I've seen
Yeah.
it. It's one of those, like, you know, watch at home kind of movies, but they're fun.
Yeah, it's one of those shut your brain off and just
Yeah.
enjoy it kind of thing.
And very few people can do that anymore. There's so many expectations from everything. Like, it's entertainment. Shut off your brain. Just enjoy. Like, it's just a little ride, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw the Furiosa review started coming in.
When's that coming out? Next week?
It is
2
next-
weeks?
next week,
Oh, long weekend.
and this thing is flying high.
Oh, I can't
it's-
wait for that movie.
It's in orbit. IGN gave it a 10 today.
What?
Yeah,
What was the last movie that got a 10?
I think it was Oppenheimer.
Okay, I was going to
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
maybe Oppenheimer was the last one.
But yeah, this thing is in orbit. It is headed for Pluto.
What is this movie about?
Cannot wait.
Oh, the sequel to not sequel, the prequel.
Prequel to
Mad Max Fury
Mad
Road.
Max.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I'm
got a
so
10 out of
hyped for
10.
that. I am so
Yeah.
hyped for that.
But Fury Road got a 10 too.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I've watched the trailer just because it's so epic. Like 5 times, just like blasted it. Like
Yeah.
this is a cinematic experience. You gotta go and watch. It's not something you sit at home and be like, oh, I got a home theater. I'm gonna watch it at home. Like this is one of those you definitely go to the movies. You go to the box office. You pay. You watch this film.
I remember when Fury Road came out, I had zero expectations for this thing. I just enjoyed the original Mad Max movies. I'm like, you know what? Let's go check this out in the theater. I was jacked to the tits for the entire time I was sitting in that theater and I was watching this movie. I'm like, this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
I'm shocked they gave it a 10 because it is so hard to build on something you already did so great.
But it just goes back to caring about what you're creating,
Yeah.
right? Like if somebody's just doing it for the sake of doing it, you're gonna the results are gonna show,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
For sure.
Speaking of results that are gonna show, just like the season 2 trailer for Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God. Oh my. I just saw that today. It's funny you brought that up. I just saw it
Yo,
today.
Like,
I think I think they spent $1 billion, I read somewhere, on this show, like from season 1 and 2, like combined.
yeah, it was a
Oh my
blank
God.
check.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, like, I don't know what they've created. Like this, I know season 1 was very mixed. Like I know some people enjoyed it, but I know like very hardcore fans were not happy with it. And I don't know what I watched in the trailer. I honestly don't.
It was, I mean, if you guys haven't seen this show and you don't plan to, this is going to be it's going to be a spoiler, but whatever. You've been warned. You got 5 seconds to figure this out before I start talking about this and don't complain. But what's that guy's name? Like Hallbrand or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Right? So he ends up being Sauron.
Yeah. But why
right?
reveal that in the trailer?
No, but they
Like-
they revealed it at the
No, I
end
get
of
it.
yeah.
But like you don't have to, like, people haven't watched, like, what about all the people that haven't watched it?
Hey, F 'em.
Right? Like that's a huge thing to just throw in the trailer randomly in the middle.
Well, to be fair, in the trailer, he's got an elvish wig on with like elvish ears, so you don't even know that's him. So apparently,
Fair enough. It took me
Yeah.
like 2-3 takes to be
Yeah.
like, wait, is that the same guy?
So you put a wig on this guy. Apparently, he's disappeared and nobody knows where he is anymore. Like, come on, give me a break, man.
Yeah, it's like Clark Kent with the glasses, you know?
Exactly. You put glasses on, you're a completely different person. But I'll do say one thing: the battle scenes look epic.
I just hope there's more of that actually in the show.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, like they'll show a couple of battle scenes, and like literally, there's like 2 battles in the whole 10 episodes. Right? It's a very small part, and I just hope there's more of that because yeah, they do look really good.
This
Yeah.
is a prequel, right?
Yeah, this happens. I think. What is it? This the second age.
Yeah, second age.
So this
Building towards the second,
Yeah.
second age.
So this basically leads up to them creating the rings of power, like the one
Okay,
ring, and
okay.
then
Yeah.
everybody gets the ring,
Yeah.
whatever. And then it was funny because like the day that they dropped that trailer, HBO was like, you know what? Here, season 2 of House of the Dragon.
Yeah, House of
Here-
Dragon looks
here's a-
great. On the other hand, House of Dragons season 2, definitely I'm super hyped for it. If you guys haven't seen season 1, it's too bad because the ending of Game of Thrones has obviously, I know there was a lot of bandwagon people. You know how it is, people with FOMO, people that just want to cop, they just walk in line with everyone else. So I get season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones was, kind of down the toilet, but
Train wreck.
yeah, but House of Dragons season 1, they did a great job. Definitely check it out if you're a Game of Thrones fan. And I think season 2 is just gonna be just as good, if not better.
I remember. Did you end up watching it? Because I think we talked about this early
No.
on. You didn't watch it, right?
I was never into the whole Game of Thrones thing.
Okay, fair enough. So you don't care.
Yeah, not really.
All right. Are you Team Black? Everybody out there, let us know. Are you Team Black or Team Green, man? What's going on here? House of the Dragon.
I would say Team Green.
Wow, wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Everyone, I think, I personally, I would be Team Green.
All right. Let's see how this battle turns out. Speaking of battles, I don't know why all this stuff is coming out to me right away, but did you guys see the press conference with Tyson and
Yeah,
Jake Paul?
I saw it.
I saw it. I don't know what to really make of this. I'm gonna leave this to Jag. I don't got any analysis on these two. I'm not.
I think it shouldn't be happening, but at the same time, since it's happening, I have to watch it. it's one of those things. It's a spectacle, but
Yeah, this actually counts towards their professional record.
yeah, it's funny. Like the rules just kept changing, and at the end, obviously Jake Paul wants this to be on the record because
Of course.
you know
Like,
he can say, "Oh, I beat."
how
you
old
know,
is he
Mike
now?
Tyson,
Is he on
right?
30 now? He's still like 20 something, right?
I
Late
think he's still in
20s.
his 20s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
What? So a late 20-year-old like fighting a guy in his 50s?
56 or something.
Like,
Yeah,
come-
he's
like,
almost 60, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
man.
gotta
Like,
be pushing-
I just
how
I
old is
can't
Tyson?
get with
I
all
think
of
he's
this fake,
56.
like these YouTubers like trying to. I just can't get with these fake fights. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna stick with UFC and leave it at that.
But it's entertaining. Didn't we convince this guy early on in
Yeah,
our
it's
podcast
one
career
of
that
those
this is
things,
Nah,
like-
I
this is
can. I
fun?
am.
Do I want it to happen? No. Do I want to see a miracle and him knock him out? And Mike Tyson knock out Jake Paul? That'd be the moment of the year if it happened. But
I just can't buy its authenticity. Like I can't watch it and feel like it's authentic.
I'm hoping that Jake does something stupid that just sets off a switch in Tyson's head. Because you remember
I would love that.
Do you remember
I would love that.
Tyson's exhibition with Roy Jones?
Yeah.
This guy was holding back and he could have taken off Roy Jones' head at any second. Right?
I
And
hope you guys are right.
And you saw him holding back. He wanted to, and then you just saw him kind of like lay up a little bit.
Look, you've already
Roy Jones
convinced.
could have died in that ring.
You've
that
already
night.
convinced me because I want to see Jake Paul. I want Tyson to just end him.
you know the thing is Jake Paul, he's very, very smart, and this is a formula that will always work, right? When people hate you, like Floyd,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you fight. They want to tune in just on the off chance you somehow lose.
Yeah.
It could be the easiest fight,
Yeah.
but
Just to
they
see
just
you
want
lose.
they want to see you
100%.
lose,
You're
right?
100% on point.
And Jake Paul, he's picking easy opponents. He's picking old guys just so he can pad his stats. But people are still gonna tune in because it's just like maybe that sliver of hope,
But that's
that
the
it
thing
might
that kind of
happen.
cheeses me. Like I don't get the authenticity. Like you're like, yeah, these guys, like, he's almost 60. Imagine me just being like, hey, I'm gonna fight this 60-year-old grandpa. Like that doesn't work anywhere else.
Guys, we saw Tyson at the Sports Card Expo last year. He's a beast still.
Yeah,
Yes,
don't get me
yes.
wrong.
That
Yeah,
guy's
he is one
vicious.
of the best ever, right? Like, don't get me wrong, but like I would be more interested if he was actually fighting someone like in his like class. Like,
thing
okay, I'm
is, it's
building up,
like-
right?
If it was one of those things where it's like, if it was guaranteed that Mike Tyson will land a shot on Jake Paul, then there's a chance, right? But when you get to like he's 50 what 56 57
57.
yeah, so he's 57, and is his body like the stamina, the speed, everything, right? The reach, because he's always been a small guy,
Yeah.
right? And then Jake Paul's gonna be way bigger than watching that ring.
Yeah,
with the
he's
size
like
difference,
times bigger
right?
than this
so,
guy.
But Tyson's fought a lot of guys that had him beat
But-
in size
No,
and
no,
stuff,
yeah, but
right?
this
But
guy's
that's what I'm saying. At 57
now.
years old,
Like
when
this is like I don't know if you guys have seen recently. Like Terrell Owens was like he wants to make a return to the NFL. He's like 50 years old. I'm like,
But dude, when I was watching, like, you watch some of these Tyson like training videos and you see how this guy's moving still, he does not look 57.
he doesn't. But once you get in that ring,
It's different, yeah.
it's gonna be different, right? Because if you just see someone training, but then you see two guys getting to the ring, that same speed you saw in training is not gonna happen.
yeah.
Because you're training on a box, like with pads.
No, and
sh-
guys, come on.
shit.
Look, we grew up playing sports. We play sports to this day, and we know there's a difference between being 20 years old, 30 years old, and then being 57. I don't care if you're the best in the world. Like, age does play a factor.
Tell that to Ric Flair.
Yeah, but I just mean like at that athletically, you're not the same. Your power isn't the same. Yeah, he probably still punches harder than 99% of the world, but is that enough?
What if he just lands that one punch?
That's why.
What
This is what
mean,
Jack's saying, right?
That's the
this
thing.
Like, just going back to what
this
he
is
said,
the
like-
sales job.
If-
You guys
if
are
he
just
hits-
selling this fight right now.
But I want to see it.
But Jake Paul, he's brilliant at doing that. Like the guys that he's fighting,
Yeah, he is.
Like-
He's a great marketer.
like the guys
that's
that
for
he
sure.
picks, automatically we're thinking, hey, this guy could do it.
Yeah.
Right? Remember when he fought Tyrone Woodley?
Yeah.
We're like, hey, Woodley could do it. Right? But then Woodley looked like a complete bum in that.
See, the thing
Yeah,
is,
okay, imagine that. Like,
no.
if I was in Tyson's shoes, I gotta have a little bit. Obviously, you have ego. Your ego's gonna kick in, right? You're gonna accept the fight. But if you end up looking anything like Woodley, like this is a mark on your legacy and your career.
When Woodley,
I don't care if you're 57.
when Woodley tried to take him down.
Like that was sad.
Like the wrestler. just-
but even when like he's fighting MMA guys, we know that Jake's gonna win because the MMA guys, like the people that he's picking, are not like
They're not
those
boxers.
types. They're not boxers, right?
Yeah.
So what we're hoping in those fights is they do something illegal and actually hurt Jake Paul, like throw a head kick, get disqualified, but hurt the guy, right?
Are you sure you're not Jake Paul's marketer, man?
No, but it's like we want to see this guy get hurt.
Yeah.
We want to see this guy fall to the mat, right?
Yeah.
We just want to see some, like, he can win every fight, right? But we just want to see some adversity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that adversity is real. Like I feel like
exactly.
you know they've kind of set this up with all these fights like that are so unbelievable. Like you don't even believe like, oh, this guy's fighting this guy. They're not in the same age. Like half of these guys are retired. Half of these guys are coming from the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And the one time that he fought like a half a boxer, he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. His only one loss.
Yeah. Fury he's not even like, Fury sucks. And this guy won.
Like he's still up. Yeah. Like,
Right?
yeah. It was bad.
Like the day this guy fights like a real boxer. I'm not saying Tyson's not a real boxer, but again, like we're saying Tyson's like a dinosaur. Right?
Yeah, but there's a
it's-
lot. I think there's a lot of risk in doing this. So he better take it seriously. Right? That, I guess, you know, hopefully, like you said,
Oh,
like Tyson. Right? Like,
there's no risk to him.
you don't think so?
There's
You
zero
don't think
risk.
there's any way he comes looking out of this?
He's Ric Flair status at this point. And no matter what happens with this guy, he's still
The
But
sad
But you
part
better
is-
not come out looking like who's that basketball player that got knocked out?
Nate Robinson.
Yeah, you better not come out looking like that.
I don't think Tyson's getting knocked out.
Yeah, well, he's
I think it can
57. If it happens, I'm sorry that like people are gonna remember that. That's gonna be your lasting image.
Tyson on the
to the
ground.
younger generation. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a risk.
Yeah, the YouTube generation are gonna remember that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more impactful now with social media than if this were to happen 40 years ago.
No, but that's how you. That's why I'm saying like promoting fights is so easy these days. Like Mike Tyson looking good in training in those videos that hypes up the fight. Oh, it can happen. It can happen. Without that,
Yeah.
the hype. You know how they're gonna hype it up without those videos? They're gonna show prime Tyson, right? They're gonna be like, "This is
I'm telling you,
who Mike
Jags,
Tyson is."
Jags
right?
getting paid by Jake Paul. I can tell
No,
you right now.
but
This
this
guy
is how you
has sold the
promote
fight
fights.
already, and I'm ready to watch.
He's got
Let's bring it on.
He's got an original Charizard sitting at home that he hasn't told anybody.
I'm telling you,
about.
the next thing is gonna be watch. He's gonna wait until GSP is like 55. Then he's gonna be like, "I want you in the UFC ring." Right? My first UFC match. Right? That's the way we're going.
Dude,
right?
that is in the realm of possibility.
He's gonna start calling out pro wrestlers too, man. With the whole, he's gonna be like, "All right, man."
I think that just might be his stick.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, I want you. Right?
Yeah, speaking of Roman, it's so funny. Everyone wanted him to lose, Now he's not around. We want Roman.
Dude, because that Bloodline 2.0 storyline that they're running right now
Yeah.
is out of this world.
It is.
Paul Heyman was not lying when he said, this Bloodline story is only in the third inning.
It's
I'm like,
nice.
what could they possibly do? And what they're doing now, I am hook, line, and sinker still, invested in this
Yeah.
one. Because they just brought,
Yo, that
GOD.
street fight was amazing. To start off the paper,
yeah.
that was the
So how
best way
much
to
does
start off.
Roman fight? Like Roman fight? Like is he like done
No,
now?
he's gone right now.
He's gone
Like,
right now.
He's out
like
of
you
the
guys are
picture.
saying, like he fights like twice a year.
like, I think
No,
last year he
no.
only had like 5 matches, I think.
Like in the beginning, he was fighting a lot, but
Yeah.
then it's his health issues too, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he's,
no,
he's
I'm
getting,
just asking.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like he probably has throughout the year he'll have those big moments. They'll bring. him in.
Yeah, that's what brought Prestige back to the title right? Because he wasn't fighting that often,
Mhm.
and when he did, it was a big deal.
Yeah, fair
Right?
enough.
And but yeah, just going back to like that pay-per-view that just happened, Backlash. Yo, shout outs to that Backlash crowd.
Yeah.
That crowd was
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that
insane.
up. And I'm the casual here, and I'm the Attitude Era. Like I will always bow down to Attitude Era, but that was one of the best crowds I have ever seen at a live that I experienced, and this is over TV in a live event.
It was crazy. Remember how last year's Backlash we're talking about the Puerto Rico crowd with
Yeah.
Bad Bunny's entrance?
Yeah.
And then this year Backlash again, France is like, you know what? Here,
That was
we're
wild,
gonna
man.
take it up a notch.
International it's just so great.
Backlash should never happen in North America again.
Honestly,
I mean,
if
Puerto Rico's North America, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like,
if I was running a business and I saw the crowd, like that's what I saw, I'd be taking my show international all the time.
I understand the logistics of doing international events is a complete nightmare and very expensive,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to kind of look at it and be like, we kind of have to make an effort to do this more because now they had Backlash in France, Clash at the Castle happening in Scotland, I think next month.
Oh, nice.
So that crowd's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
The one they had in Australia, what did they have in Australia again?
Not really.
Wasn't
had-
that after WrestleMania? They were in Australia?
Whatever the event was in Australia, that crowd was crazy.
Was it recent?
I thought it was recent, or maybe it could have been right before WrestleMania.
There was something that
I don't
happened in
remember
Australia. I don't
recently.
remember what it is, whatever it was, but they were down there too.
But it's an international brand. Like the WWE is internationally recognized.
The thing with WWE, man, is even before the internet,
Yeah, it was
It
always
was-
international.
like they could have gone to any country and people would lose their
Yeah,
minds.
like
Yeah.
they were selling out wrestling shows in Japan like decades ago.
There was old videos of like Bret Hart in India where people are going insane.
Yeah, India's another one.
They want Bret
Yeah.
Hart. We want Hitman. We want Hitman. All these like little Indian kids and like Delhi.
Yeah.
We want Hitman. Like,
That's
it's
probably
nuts.
how those guys came into wrestling in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I mean, people are going to laugh at what I'm about to say, but like the hysteria around Michael Jackson when Michael Jackson was a thing in Europe back in like the 90s, some of these wrestlers out there, same hysteria.
Yeah, no, like real wrestling fans will know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s and 90s, like in places in Europe, in Japan, like many parts of the world, like it was a massive.
Yeah. And especially with guys like Hitman. Like Hitman in Canada is a god,
Yeah,
right? Like we were at Pearson when this guy came back with the belt. There was like 20,000 people standing outside of the terminal waiting for this guy to come out,
you don't see that stuff anymore.
right?
He's just the thing about Bret Hart is it's so sad to see every interview I see of him. He's just so bitter now with the Goldberg thing and the whole
I mean-
Screwjob thing. I know it's big, but it's
And
like
you know
that's
what?
all I hear
I
and
don't,
talk
I
about these
don't,
days.
I don't put that a lot on him just because every interview or every sit down I see or when he's on a podcast, that's all everyone asks him. Like everybody wants
true
to
too.
know. Everybody wants the details because back then a lot of the feuds were like genuine feuds. Like they had issues that people like hated each other. Like, backstage they didn't get along. So everybody asks him the same questions.
Because that's the big what if, right? Like
Yeah.
what if Goldberg didn't hurt this guy and his career
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
over? What could have
Yeah.
been with him, right?
But I think that just to go on Jag's point, like I think that's, I think that bitterness doesn't like, it's kind of hard for it to go away just because you're constantly reminded of these things.
Yeah, because he's probably thinking like I still had like 4 or 5 years left in me, but then this
Mhm.
goon takes my head off and
Yeah.
like it's over,
No.
right? And Goldberg, he came out of like a couple of months back. He's like, just get over it, man. Like I didn't
Yeah.
do it on purpose. Like it was an accident, right? But that's wrestling.
Yeah.
Accidents happen, right? Like look
Mhm.
what happened with Big E.
Yeah.
Right, the poor guy broke his neck on like a suplex. It's not like it was done on purpose. His career's over, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He can't.
That,
wrestle
yeah,
again.
that's the nature of, I think, the business. Like, look, a lot of wrestlers we could name, right? Stone Cold after his neck, like a lot of these guys were never the same, right?
Yeah, but that's like sports in general. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, not even sports. That's just life in general,
Yeah,
Nope.
right? You could walk outside right now, get hit by a bus, and like it's over for you too,
yeah.
Mhm.
right? It don't matter. You're not gonna blame the TTC for the rest of your days. I mean, you probably can.
Yeah. Injuries. Yeah, they're tough.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about it with your knees and stuff, but you can't have Goldberg to blame for it. Though.
That's true.
Or you can just start blaming Gold. Screw you, Goldberg.
I think the thing with the Goldberg thing more is I think Brett was even more mad because his wrestling experience was in there. Like Goldberg, he was just thrown in there,
Yeah,
so that's why it's like kind of by an amateur, like he injured him.
But Brett and Goldberg had one of the greatest angles I've ever witnessed live when Nitro was here.
Oh my
Right?
God,
So-
Nitro.
so we were at
way back.
Yeah, we were at Nitro, and then Brett came out. He's doing the whole thing, and then Goldberg comes out, spears him, right? But then Goldberg's knocked out. Bret Hart gets up. He had like the metal plate underneath the Leaf jersey that he was wearing.
That was sick.
Yeah, dude, that arena went crazy. That was wild. Man, wrestling's fun.
It is.
Yeah, live wrestling's awesome. Okay. Oh, I wanted to talk about. We finally got officially announced. Happy Gilmore 2 is happening.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, officially announced for Netflix.
With Adam Sandler?
Of course, Adam Sandler. This
and-
guy does movie deals with Netflix. Like
Yeah.
every time it expires, he signs up for like another 5.
And
So
my
he's
guy,
back, eh?
he's back, and my guy Shooter McGavin's back too.
I don't know how I feel
Okay.
about it. I feel pretty mixed.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
No, I
Watch
have
that-
to watch
yeah.
it. Is it like one of those? It's a Netflix thing, right? So
Yeah, because
it'll
I
go
think
straight-
what was it? Billy Madison. He signed the deal with Netflix for like a bunch of
but
movies.
even with just Adam Sandler, he's been doing like you guys probably have seen. Like he hasn't done any mainstream stuff. It's all Netflix. Like he's been signing contract. He's been doing movies with Netflix for like a decade now.
There was a one that he did a couple of years back. Was it Hidden Gems?
Hidden Gems, yeah, that was good.
Like that one came out of
Yeah.
left field, man. I don't like.
What was
and
that about?
he played a character like way out of
You
left
haven't
field.
seen it? He hasn't seen it.
You should check it. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. You probably seen like maybe you started it.
He's
That's not the basketball one.
the
No.
That's the one where like he's the agent and he finds like the
Mhm.
European guy.
Yeah.
No.
That's not him.
This is no Uncut Gems. Hidden
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Sorry.
Mhm.
He plays like a jeweler in New York, but he's also like a degenerate gambler on
Yeah.
basketball. Right? Kevin Garnett's in the movie. So the,
It's
so
okay,
good.
okay.
It's
so this takes place during like that Celtics run where they won the championship,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's like him just getting caught up in like really, really bad.
bad stuff.
Bad
Like it's
stuff with,
it's
like, the
raw.
wrong crowd
and-
It's so well done. His acting is A plus.
Yeah. It's not a comedy. Like it's
Yeah,
it's
it's like a
a drama,
serious-
right?
Yeah.
I didn't think Sandler could pull it off, but when I watched it, I'm like, this movie was awesome, and this guy did a great job. Uncut Gems, Hidden Gems. What the hell was I talking about? But yeah,
No,
Check it out.
I've always loved him. I think he's always been one of the best. He has a lot of diversity. He just he's great at comedy, and that's what people want to see. He's great at family films. People love those.
You know the best thing about like how they're doing Happy Gilmore 2? Now we get to go watch the original again.
I watched the
Just
original.
to get ready for the second
Yeah,
one.
I watch it all the time.
Yeah, if I catch it on if I'm randomly scrolling TV or something and or randomly see some clips, I'll check it out.
I got him sitting down here.
Oh, is he there?
Yeah, he's right there,
Oh,
standing next to Aaliyah. I mean, you guys can't see it on camera, unfortunately, but we got Happy
Yeah,
Gilmore
I
down there
see it.
standing next to
With his
Aaliyah.
hockey stick.
Again, I have the only reason like it's a lot of stuff that's being redone or isn't there like what's the Will Smith franchise that's coming back? Not Die Hard. What
Bad
was it?
Boys.
Bad Boys. Yeah, there's another one coming, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's another one.
Okay,
Oh,
I thought
How
so.
many is that? That's the fourth?
This is gonna be the fifth. one.
Fifth, I
The
think.
fifth?
Yeah.
The fourth one just came out like
like
the
a
fourth
couple
one
years
was
ago.
Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah,
like
so
2
I
years
just
ago.
randomly saw that trailer like a week ago, and I was like, "Is this for real?" And I'm like, just kind of like the retreads, bringing in like the same thing. Like, hopefully it's not that. I'm not saying it's gonna, suck. Like, give it a chance, but
Yeah, well, if you're gonna rehash something, just call up Tommy Lee Jones and give us Men in Black.
yeah, why didn't you just
well, Men in Black 3, like how they ended it was pretty nice.
Yeah, but with all the stuff that's happening in the world now, they can always play on that and bring it back. Because Men in Black
Yeah.
International was okay. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love
hate
it.
it.
Mhm.
It was fine.
I didn't hate it. Yeah, it was just fine.
It
Like,
was okay.
I still think like the original is the original. It's just hard to,
Was International the one with
With Hemsworth and
yes, yes.
the girl that played Valkyrie.
Okay,
and
that one I
Thor.
didn't see. I just
Yeah.
saw the original with
It wasn't bad. It just,
It's a fun watch.
yeah,
mhm.
Like, I found nothing that I hated about it.
yeah,
I enjoyed it, but I also didn't. Oh, this is great. I love it.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's whatever. It's like you watch it, you forgot about it.
I think it's just a desire for like fresh content. Like I'm just looking for like fresh new content. Just tired of, watching part 4, part 5, part 6 of like the same franchise.
Yeah, I mean that just goes back to them announcing the Lord of the Rings movie for next year. Sorry, 2026, the Gollum one.
And they were saying that's gonna be like a trilogy.
I
Or
don't
is that
know.
just a single film?
I didn't know about that, but it just goes back to like what a discussion that we had last year, where it's like, how do they do it? And you made
Yeah.
a point that they find a way, and they did.
Yeah.
I just like nothing's gonna touch
After
the.
that, it's gonna be a movie about Gandalf.
Oh my god!
You can make a movie of any
I
one
will.
of those
I'm just
characters.
saying,
I will
yeah.
bet you there's gonna be a film. Yeah, 100%.
You know.
Yeah. But I mean, there's these movies that are just, they just should be just left alone because of how great the original
The
ones
Matrix, like, should have been left alone.
Left
I
alone.
did. I
I
don't.
refuse to watch that fourth one. I'm
Don't-
just
don't
like,
waste your
no,
time,
It's
and
a
I
trilogy,
recommend-
it stays a trilogy to me.
Exactly. I recommend everyone not watch the fourth one. Please do not waste your time. Like, it should have never happened. It shouldn't even exist. And it's just like, why do you ruin such a great franchise? Like, you made 3 great films that were ahead of its time, that will probably live in most people's top 5, you know, let's say worst case top 10 movies of all time, of trilogies. And there's no need to touch it, just like Lord of the Rings. Like, you did something so spectacular. You were so ahead of the curve. Like, don't ruin it.
You guys ever, like, these movies came out 20 years ago,
Yeah.
right? But when you look at the visual effects on those movies and what they did 20 years ago, and it's like, how did we regress in
You
some
know
of
what
these
it is?
movies?
A lot of it is because we just started relying so much on green screen and technology.
Mm.
A lot of it's just as straight up as just digital effects. Like, you
Yeah.
can't, like, a lot of prosthetics and all the stuff that they were doing back then, you can't do, like, no one's doing that anymore.
Yeah, fair
Right?
enough.
Like, everyone's cutting costs. I don't know. Like, I guess it's easier, quicker with digital effects. Look at all the reshoots that not every film goes through,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lazier now.
right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think with the One Piece live action was so great, was because they actually did like practical effects.
That I think that absolutely that's probably what saved it. Like, to me personally, I think that's what made it such a success. There was so much practical effects.
Yeah. It's great. One Piece, can't wait for that one to come back. Oh, did you see the tease for
I did.
Season
I
2?
did. Yeah, I did.
I don't watch.
You don't watch it? You don't care.
No,
Yeah.
he's a manga only guy.
All right, so we'll leave that for another day. But again, all right, everybody. It's great to finally be back on the couch and talking again.
Yeah, we probably should probably drop an episode with the playoffs going on. We haven't even talked about another failure of a Leaf season, so we got a lot of things still to touch on.
Yeah,
That'll be interesting episode. So look out for that.
Yeah, we'll leave Champ to rant about that at another time.
Yeah, that'll be coming up soon.
Yeah. But 1 year down, many more years to come. We want to thank everybody for joining us with this, right? Just like, share, subscribe. Let's get us over that 100 subscriber mark. And then once we get there, we got a little something planned for you. And also, there's some stuff happening this summer that we've got planned. Can't really mention it right now until it gets going, but there's some big things happening this summer, so stay tuned for that. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It's some big stuff. And that's it, man. Just like, share, subscribe. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for joining us over this last year. And to all the new people, let's get belligerent, man. Let's do
Let's
this thing.
go.
All right. We'll see you guys
All
again.
right, peace out.
Peace out.